everyone, it's Jamie with Southeastern Soul Tribe. Welcome back to my returning subscribers and all of you all out there who haven't subscribed yet. I hope you like my reads, and if you do, please hit that thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. We are reading for Scorpio now. It's your turn. Let's see what's going on with my Scorpio collective today. I just finished the Libra reading. It should be up. And let's see what's happening with my Scorpios. Financial constraints and Angel of Love was on the split. Let's see what else is there. So you might be dealing with some money issues, feeling the pressure in the pocketbook, maybe. Spirit angels, ancestors, guides. Needing a lot of strength, dealing with a Leo maybe, or have a Leo in your chart. Maybe facing a little conflict with the 5 number there. Tell me when to finish shuffling. Spirit, angels, ancestors, guides. Might be getting a message today or some information. This little birdie is walking up to the car. Okay. Here we go. Trying to balance a contract in the recent past. Somewhere where things were equal give and take, perhaps. Or dealing with a Libra in your past. Contracts. These are things that we have to sign. Commitments, things like that. Agreements that we are under or have been under in the recent past. Walking away. Taking your leave. The thing about this walking away card is it comes to a number 9. So number 9 means it's not over yet completely. But we're taking some time to look back. The color pink is bright, and I'm noticing all the pink leaves that are laying on the ground, and I noticed that when I noticed the bird a while ago, and I almost said something, and then I'm noticing that here. So the color pink is in between red and white, and it's a mixture of, the color red for me is angry, upset, and white is trying to have purity. So the battle between the two creates the color pink. But it's also the color of a lotus, which stands for fertility. So sometimes we have to walk away from things that doesn't allow us to be fertile, to open up to something that is more fertile, for us to be able to plant into a more fertile ground. Somebody was blind to a contract or a commitment in the past, because I am noticing how she's wearing a blindfold. Contracts can be broken, but that doesn't mean there aren't repercussions for them. And the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. All the purple in the world with the number 5. Going forward. There could be conflict, things that plague our mind. I am going to read this card to you because I always read Archangel cards because they're very significant. Archangels are important to me in my journey, and I hope that they are to yours as well. So let's see what this means for our Scorpios. In the number 41 card, this card stands for spiritual connections, intuition, and inspiration. It's also known as the fire of God. It's in your crown chakra up here. And it also stands for having a passionate connection with the divine. It's the 7th energy center. So it's the 7th chakra. And this card upright indicates an open and free-flowing channel of information and inspiration from the wonderful beings in the spirit world. This could also be a time of great intuition for you and guidance from your higher awareness. So allow yourself to quiet your mind and listen. Now is a great time to get connected. The assistance from Spirit is great. And whether it's the presence of an ascended master, a powerful angel like Uriel, or just a loving friend or family member in spirit, their love and willingness to assist is always there. Okay? They even open you up to Akashic records, the storehouse of all information. So this connection is open now, and you will find that your own spirit and the spirits of those around you will be able to provide the answers you seek and the blessings you desire and that you deserve. When you recognize or when you draw this card, in my experience, I have been directed to meditate. And sometimes, while we think that's a very peaceful state, sometimes the information that comes in can be unnerving. You have to find your center. Okay? Right now, it looks like there was blindness around a contract of some kind in the recent past. You're almost done with a cycle, but walking away and looking back on that look back can be a moment of clarity when you look at it. So sometimes it's really, really hard to look back in honesty and in reality, facing those things toe to toe. Not necessarily everything in our past we are proud of. However, looking back at contracts, broken contracts, or together contracts, or contracts that we were blind about all the information to, that's something that we're being directed toward now. Let's take a look at the Moonology and see what other information comes out about this. I'm interested to see where this reading goes, since I know a lot of Scorpios. And I've been highly blessed to be part of their lives intimately. Yes, I have. Spirit, angels, ancestors, guides for our Scorpio collective. What messages from the Moonology do you have? On the contract, the things you were blind to, nothing will come out of that situation, okay? So, you've drawn everything out of it that you're going to draw. That phase is over, not for you anymore. That contract is behind you. Exactly why she's looking behind herself. It's void. It's a void contract. What's in the current? I'm hearing that Garth Brooks song. Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared 'neath the stars above. For a moment, all the world was right. How could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. So now the walking away card is here with the 9 card. A fiery climax is approaching, and that is Aries energy. You might be working with an Aries. Somebody might be But a climax is coming. The energy is building up, and it's on. This is a full moon energy. So it is, what new is manifesting? Well, that girl is on fire. Or you're dealing with fire. Are you playing with fire? She's looking at fire. She's looking at an Aries. Her body is turned away, but she's looking. She's thinking. Whatever was behind you back there, that is, nothing's going to come of it. But what you're looking at right here, the fire and the climax that's approaching, that may impact some things, because with the full moon energy, that is what new is manifesting. So I don't feel like that contract back there was this Aries energy. Something from that may stem as part of the fiery climax. It may be a player in that game, but I feel like that contract is done back here, because it says nothing will come of that situation. Okay, so the 7th chakra card is the forward one, and on the bottom of the deck, a personal issue reaches resolution with the full moon in Cancer. So it's either on the next full moon of Cancer, or it could be in Cancer season, which would be around July. Okay, or you could be dealing with a Cancer energy, or someone with that in their chart heavily. But going forward, there's going to be an opening on the back of this fiery climax. But this fiery climax is going to expand, taking pieces of the things that we already knew, and our intuition is going to grow from that information. We're going to see that happen while we watch personal issues come into play here. Sorry, I was looking for the tarot. So let's shuffle for Scorpio. Spirit, angels, ancestors, guides. Show us what we need to see. What is this contract that we were blind to that nothing's going to come of? Leo energy, the sun. Could have been dealing with a Leo. A single Leo. We may have had new ideas around that Leo energy, or it could be all about this self-confidence that we had of doing something single. But we're going to receive a healing about that. Something that hurt us really bad in the past, that 10 of Swords, those swords are beginning to fall out, and our feelings are waning in that way. Show me about this Aries energy. Yes, we may have a reconnection with an Aries. We're looking back at that. Someone, we may have to reconnect, or there may be a celebration of some kind coming up that causes a fiery climax. The wheel's turning here, ending a cycle, but she's very happy about it, pregnant with brand new ideas. And there is a message about an opportunity that we can get our hands on. Something tangible. It's small. Could be an offer of friendship. Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. There's still an air of this feeling. 5 of Pentacles, feeling left out, or a lack mentality here. What does Scorpio need to know about that? Queen of Swords, Libra energy, the Ice Queen. Being open to receive information, education about things that are important. if that's you holding that energy, harping on things, or somebody might be harping on you, playing your harp. But the Ice Queen doesn't chase down the information, it just comes to her. So you may get some information through this solitude time too. It might be the truth about certain things may be starting to come to light. What advice do you have for Scorpio regarding that? Lean on your support system, the Six of Wands. Be fierce. And yeah, there's going to be a time where we're walking on faith. You know, I keep seeing this card that way. 10 of Wands, because of things we've learned in the past. We're going from the 9 to the 10 here. What we're learning here is that as we close this out, we're not always going to be able to see very far ahead of us, and we're going to have to feel our way through it. Any more advice on that for Scorpio? There's a choice coming up with an Aries, Taurus, or Libra energy. It's an Emperor. They are the master of their own domain. They are embodying all four kings. They've mastered their emotions. They've mastered their pentacles. They have mastered their business, their empire, and they have great emotional control, and they're sexy. They can hold their own, but they are the my way or the highway kind of guy. Yeah. I see the Emperor and Death standing next to each other. There's a transformational energy with embodying this scorpionic energy that I'm talking to today, where we are transforming. She's howling at the moon here. This Emperor and this Scorpio stands next to one another. He's watching her transform. And it's a lover's choice. It's choosing the transformation and choosing to stand in your own right, confident and balanced. There's somebody watching this union too. Gemini. But it's supportive. Yes. What's this personal issue that's resolving here? You may not have to wait very much longer. The Three of Wands is coming up in reverse for what's coming up further out. Somebody might pull back on communication a little bit, but there'll be a new truth that comes to light within this 7th chakra energy. It's a new truth about an opening of new options. Taurus energy is here with the Hierophant, higher belief systems, it's higher commitments. The Hierophant is the teacher, the spiritual leader, and there's truth in that union, and there may be some travel. That's Cancerian energy again, getting on your chariot and moving forward, whether it's energetically or physically, but there's going to be communication around that. Okay, your intuition can probably already hear it, and you can already feel it coming, but you can't necessarily see it. Patience, my friend. Temperance energy, that is Sagittarian. But it is, patience is a virtue. Being patient will bring justice. It's balancing the energy, where you can stand up in your own right and finally balance those scales. There will be an equal give and take. Reciprocity coming forward. And 10 of Pentacles. There'll be growth and abundance here, but the work will have to be put in. You may have a couple of little helpers. Be careful of them. They can be shysty if you're not watchful. Make sure that you wield your power in that way. Things are going to calm down. Six of Swords, you might travel, might be going toward water, or just facing an emotional going into the water as far as emotions go. But you're going to be able to stand up in your own right with the King of Pentacles. You're going to have earning power on your own, and you're going to find that stability with when you pull on that masculine energy of your own and stand on your own. Being genuine with friends, the Page of Cups, and also taking that hermit's journey, making good plans, being the light in the darkness for someone and carrying that through. Because that development of the intuition going forward is going to allow you to be able to see things that you haven't seen before and hold up that light and that candle for someone else. And they're going to watch you make the plans, make the developments, and have the growth. And one day you're going to look back on all this and be thankful for the lesson and be thankful for the growth opportunity that it gave you. What's meant for you will never pass you by. Rejection is God's protection. And every time that we get knocked down, it's just one more chance to elevate again. As long as you perceive it that way. Okay? You might be able to smell the sweetness of these flowers, even though you cannot see. But it's going to build self-confidence when you build from your own stability and from a genuine place in your heart. And you're going to have a partnership to come through that you can manifest with, next to. I feel like that's your energy. It's mercurial in all ways with a magician, because the communication is going to be key, and putting the plans in place and the feet on the ground to take each step small, but every day making a plan. Like I've said before, and I have proven it over and over again to myself, that manifestation is not just sitting and wishing. Like they said, you can wish in one hand, shit in the other, and see which one you get first. I guarantee you it's the one that had the action behind it. And that's the squatting down the poop in your hand. Okay? Because wishing is up here. But when you combine the two together, you make a wish, you have a dream, and then you physically write them down, and then you create a plan and do one, even if it's the smallest thing each day toward that goal. Then you build a plan and you put the feet on the ground and you create a pattern that's positive toward the goals that you're going after. You will see them expand. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's work. You got to put the work in to develop those things. And that's what I think you're going to be able to do in the future. But right now, you're developing your intuition and learning to trust it. And seeing things for what they are, what they have been, and the reflection that you do from the past is going to help you going forward. Kind of like Virgo's reading, where was it Virgo? No, it was Leo that was plucking things from the past, taking the positive forward and bringing them. But everybody can use that advice. For Scorpio, from the Oracle of Pluto, what messages do you have? All right, let's do that one more time. Spirit, angels, ancestors, guides, messages from the Oracle. Thank you. The Lion. Some Leo energy there as well. Let's see what it says. Don't be lying. The Lion stands for divine masculine, pride, and the father. This also might be working with some father wounds, just side note, but often referred to as the king of the animal kingdom. The lion embodies the energy of the divine masculine within us. The presence of this card may also point to a fatherly relationship, whether with your biological father or a chosen father figure. Okay, as with the bear card and maternal relations, our relationship with our dad may not always be good or easy one. However, when we approach the archetype of the father through the lens of the divine, we are given the opportunity to define what this masculine energy needs to represent to us to feel empowering. Okay, so when we speak of the divine masculine and feminine through the lens of spirituality, we aren't speaking about gender, but rather the two sides of nature that exist in all things. These energies are one way to think about the two halves that make us whole. They exist on a spectrum in varying degrees. Masculine energy is often thought of as the active principle, the side of us that is ambitious, yes, driven, and ready to make moves. So, feminine is the passive principle, open, receptive, and observing. The lion asks us about our relationship to our own masculine energy and what does this energy mean to you? What feelings arise when you read these words? So take pride in this part of you and nurture it well. So it's asking you to reflect on the archetype of a king or ruler that appears in both unevolved and evolved energy. Okay? So just like everything else, the shadow version of a king is the tyrant, the authoritarian, the dictator. An enlightened ruler is benevolent and values the people who make up his kingdom. He's willing to listen to their wants, needs, and desires, while also respecting the weight of responsibility and power he commands. Locate the king inside of you. How can you feel embodied and balanced when in power? Some of us have a false sense of power. I know that I have been that way before, where I thought being pushy and loud and bossy was the way. That wasn't powerful at all. That was actually a place inside of me that was very much insecure. To be actually powerful is to have enough self-control within yourself to know when to hold them and when to fold them, when to talk and when not to. Sometimes silence speaks so much louder than words, but sometimes your words matter. Balancing those two are important. Scorpios sometimes withhold way more than they should when they should have spoken up. Less often than not, they do that. And so it's asking you to utilize that masculine and feminine energy and learn to balance them. Because we might have been blind to how to balance that in the past. But now we're being asked to do that in the future. All right, Scorpio. So that's your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you'd like a personal reading. That information is in the About section. And until next time, much love and light to you and yours.